Channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're an OG, welcome back, king or queen. So guys, I know there's a lot of people who talk about this. I think
no, it's not
YouTube. Oh, really?
I haven't heard anyone except myself.
Okay, well, she's a lot of people.
I mean, I'm the only one who's struggling, clearly.
No. Okay, so today, Mandy and I decided that we're going to sit down and talk about the struggles in the dating industry, okay? The struggles we face when we are trying to date, because we're not dating currently, but we have a lot of struggles that we are facing trying to get into the industry or trying to,
navigate.
Especially
as mothers.
Yes, as mothers. So it becomes so hectic. So yeah, we thought we should just sit here and talk about it because there's not, now that she mentions it, there's not a lot of people who have spoken about it. We are a lot of people who have spoken about it.
I'm the only mom. So the mom who struggles with dating can't be. And if that's the case, why aren't others talking about it then?
Because we are tired, my sister, we are tired. That's why we're not talking about it. So yeah, as you guys know, with Mandy and I have kids who are more or less the same age. They are the same age.
They're exactly the same age.
They're the same age. And I remember having a conversation with Mandy this other time, and we were talking about the fact that we wanted to start dating again. But every time we look at these things, like when we look at what's happening with relationships and other people who are dating, we're just like, don't think I want that.
Pool.
Yes, the pool is filthy.
Dirty.
It is filthy. It has nothing in it, And I'd always say to him, because we started having this conversation since last year already. Yeah, and I'd always say to him, no, join dating sites. And my sister here doesn't want dating sites.
I joined a dating site for like a day, not even a day's long. I'll join and then I swipe. I think within an hour, I'm just like, delete.
And it doesn't matter how I tell her to navigate the dating sites, because personally, I think I know how to navigate.
Yeah, you've been successful.
Yeah, I know how to navigate dating sites. But for my sister here, she's just like struggled with navigating dating sites. And every time she'd download it and then send me a message like, Chomi, I deleted that thing. Because those men, men are not interesting. I don't know what to say to them.
They're not interesting at all. And they're so entitled. Like, you look at someone's bio and they be like, yo, this one bio I saw the other time I was on Hinge. He was just like, I don't mean to be rude, but if you're on the chubbier side, please swipe left. Just like, I look at him, he's not even cute. He's not even skinny.
Imagine!
You're not skinny and you're telling us, Guti, if you're on the chubbier side, swipe left. Yeah, I'm not being rude, it's a preference. And then you look at them and then sometimes, you're like, okay, let's match. You match. And then they open their mouth.
Yeah, the conversation is very dry. And sometimes, I think for me, the issue or the one thing that I struggle with when it comes to dating sites is the fact that I feel like I have to carry the conversation.
Yes.
And I am not going to carry the conversation. Yes. Like I stopped carrying the conversation in my 20s. I'm not going to carry the conversation when I'm 30 and over 30. I'm not going to do that.
And I think the older you get and the more you realize that you need to carry these conversations, the more you realize that men are actually not interesting people. They're actually just not. And I know a lot of people are going to come here and be like, yeah, my man's interesting. Your man is interesting to you because you like him. When you stop liking a man, you realize how uninteresting they are. You are the one who makes the relationship interesting because you carry it. You're the fun person in the relationship. But as you're saying, I'm not trying to be that. I'm not going to carry our relationship.
Yeah, I get you, friend. And you know what? And sometimes, personally, I'd ask the question, what is the real problem? Like, what is the real problem? Like, as a mom, like, what is the real problem when it comes to like dating? Like, is the problem the fact that people are just like, hi, we don't want to date moms?
Guys don't see themselves marrying mothers.
I'm laughing, but inside I'm crying, okay? I'm laughing because that's like my recent experience, but okay. I think my struggle when it comes to dating has been the fact that my baby daddy and I are close. Like, we're friends. Like, we get along really well. So a lot of the guys that I've met, I've gone out on dates with. When I tell them, well, no, I'll speak to my baby daddy or whatever, they just be like, you're speaking to your baby daddy, huh? So this person is not out of your life completely. They're still in your life, which means you guys are doing something. And it doesn't matter how many times I explain, but we're not doing anything. Asenzi nix. We are just people who are existing. We are raising our child. We respect each other. We are friends also. But they just be like, no, hi, there's something suspicious happening there.
I think it's because men don't have good relationships with their baby mamas. So then they expect everyone to not have a good relationships with their co-parents. Because why is an issue when I say I was speaking to my baby daddies? I have to speak to him 10 times a day.
We have a child.
And I've even seen, like, on your comment sections, women who are just like, oh, if my man was that close with his baby mom, it would be a problem for me.
Exactly.
For me, I always say, I will never date a man who does not have a good relationship with his baby mama. Because it says a lot about him. And my ideal man is best friends with his baby mama. Definitely. Because you have to look at it in the way you would say, God forbid I have a child with you and we break up. So now you're gonna turn your back on me.
Yes.
Because that's what
exactly
women
what's
want.
gonna happen.
Because that's what women want. You want your man to be cool with only just you, but you forget that if that's the case, he'll do to you. Men, like, that's who he is. But you want your man to be able to have healthy conversation and a healthy relationship with his baby mama. I remember I said something like that on Promises. I was on Promises podcast, and I was just like, I believe that I can co-parent with my baby daddy's wives. And all of the comments were just like, you're so ambitious, you're so ambitious.
That's Dilulu.
You're like Dilulu. And I'm just like, why wouldn't I co-parent
I think
with
that's what
them?
those comments are like, well,
Yes, and I'm Dilulu. Why are you going to co-parent with the wife? Why are you going to co-parent with your baby daddy? You guys are so used to hostile situations. So when you see something healthy, because you are so used to chaos. And for me, I'll never get that, because how my man treats his ex, how my man treats his baby mama is a huge reflection on
the kind of person he is.
And that's the man I want.
Sure, bruh. Like, that's my struggle. Like, that is, personally, that's my current struggle. Because I've gone on dates with people. I've tried to date people, but they're just like, I can't get over the fact that you still talk to your baby daddy.
I have to talk to him.
I'm like, we have a child. What do you want me to do? Do you want me to make this child disappear?
For me, then that
do you
tells
want
me
to stop talking to this man?
It tells me that he's either a deadbeat already if he's got a child, or he's a
training
future deadbeat. Because why do you have an issue co-parenting?
And also, I think Abanya Bantu, it's because I'd be like, you have to trust me. If you are going to get into a relationship with me, you have to trust me as a person, like me as your partner.
Yeah. My struggles as a single mom is being a single mom. So I can't go on dates because I'm a single mom. I've got no one to leave my children with. Like this morning, I was on a date, but it worked because the kids are home.
Yeah.
So my biggest struggles in dating as a single mother is exactly that, Uti. I don't have a co-parent at all. So when I have to leave the house, I have to make a plan on who I'm going to take care of these kids. So every guy that I date, I always say, if you want to see me, you need to give me 5 working days, 5 business days, so I can figure out a plan on what am I going to do with the kids, and also how long is our date going to be. So if you're going out, so there's this guy I was dating, and he was very understanding. So his thing was, okay, since you work from home and he's an entrepreneur, let's date during the day. So that way,
the kids are not there.
The kids are not there. Let's go out on day. Let's go out for lunch or whatever. But then most people have 9 to 5s. So now it's just a matter of when do I see you? Okay, we can't have spontaneous dates. I can't see you on the weekend. I have to plan. I have to ask people, are you available? Are you available? Are you available? And my issue with that is I'm very protective. Like just like any other mom, like I don't like leaving my kids, especially for a date.
Yeah.
For me, if I leave my kids, it needs to be an emergency, but I have to go. So now I always find myself shortchanging myself because I'm just like, I say no to dates because who am I going to leave these kids with? Like, but the eldest is 15.
You know, the wild thing about what you're saying is that I feel like I experience the same thing, even though I have.
You have a co-parent.
Yes, I've got a co-parent, and I also have people who can stay with me if I were to go on a date. But also, I'm just like, I'm leaving my child to go on a date.
Really? Really, Ramaphosa?
No.
Really? I know. I feel like there's so many things I can leave my child for by going on a date. But on the same breath, when you date, you are pouring into yourself.
Yeah.
So you will become a better human because these kids gonna leave.
Yeah, they are gonna leave.
They're gonna
They're
leave.
still 3 years old, so they're not gonna leave now.
So what are you gonna do? You're gonna sit here for 15 years until he's 18 when he leaves.
Yeah, and then I start dating.
You're gonna be 55.
I'll be 55 and I'll be on Hinge.
She's gonna be a typical boy mom who's not gonna want her son to leave the house because you've been taking care of him. You're not gonna want him to date because he's your husband. Please date.
No, I won't take it that far. I won't take it that far.
You will. 15 years later, you will date. Please date. Now I always encourage single mothers to date because also another struggle that I've been having, I don't have it anymore. It's society. Society always tells single mothers to stay single.
Focus on your children.
Focus on your children.
What kind of example is this?
Exactly.
Especially
especially when I've been told you're gonna change men every time.
But also you're not introducing these men to your children.
Besides, even if I was, I think that if I raise my children right, it doesn't matter. Outside noise doesn't matter. You know? So whether you're introducing these men to your children or not, it's healthy for your children to see you dating. It's not healthy for so much of our children need to. We saw our parents being with one man for the 60 years of her life and she was miserable. So now we're trying to raise our children differently. They need to know mommy dates, you know. You don't need to know the intricate. Yeah, you don't need to know the intricate parts of the relationships, but it's okay. And now, in me dating different men or whatever, I feel like I'm also teaching them that you don't need to stay for shit. There are options out there.
Banigi.
I'm right, but I'm a pain.
So you're not getting also date. Bye-bye.
Making your stepson. But basically what I'm trying to say is because society has told us to focus on your children, don't date, we internalize that.
Yeah.
And that, like, whether you like kid or not, for me it's been a struggle to put myself out there, A, and B, I've got 2 kids with 2 different men. Society tells us every day.
I was actually going to get
who's
to that.
Who's gonna love you with 2 baby daddies back home who love us. I always get like DMs from women being like, yo, man, I've got 4 kids with 4 different men and I'm married. And I'm just like, there we go. These are the kind of stories we need to hear. Not the society is always shaming you. Who's going to love you with 2 different kids? Stop dating, focus on your children. But you can't be a good mother. Like, you can't pour out of an empty cup, as cliche as it sounds. So when you're being loved right, getting some D and whatever, you are able to become just like a lighter version of yourself.
Even when your child spills milk on the floor.
It's just like, oh, darling, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's gentle parenting, ibalula. If you say you're not dating and stuff, where is all of that energy going to? Your kids.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But also, another thing, I think, well, a lot of people don't do like dating right.
I'm one of them.
A lot of people don't do dating right. Because for me, I'm like, okay, we are dating, but dating means seeing like multiple people. Okay? Seeing different people and getting to know those people. Because also at the same time, now for me personally, I'm just like, okay, if I'm gonna get back into the dating scene, like if I'm gonna get into a relationship, I'm not gonna get into a serious relationship with the first guy who says they like me. I was not in a relationship for a very long time, so go immediately when someone shows interest in me and whatever, then I'm just like, oh, this is the love of my life. No, I'm gonna go out there and date multiple men. Guys, date multiple men. Men, date multiple
I think for me,
men.
my struggle with that goes back to our first point. Men are not that interesting for me to be able to speak to 5 of them at a time. Speaking to one takes a lot out of me. Like, speaking to a man, men are just so boring. And now I need to speak to 5 at the same
Yeah, but then
time.
also speaking to one man, it puts you in a corner. Because now you're speaking to this one man, you catch up with this one man, and then you don't have options. Like, you don't have other people who are there who can be like, if this one doesn't answer the phone, then you're like, I'm gonna call the other one. If this one doesn't answer, I'm gonna call the other one. You know? And that way you keep yourself from getting hurt while you're in the talking stage.
I get that. I think for me, even if I dated 5 men, there will always be a favorite. And I'll put my energy on the favorite, which means I might as well just talk to him.
Yeah, but you will always have a favorite, but at the same time, you know at the back of your mind, there's different people.
I did that, but I still had one favorite and I put all my focus on him. And I'm sorry, that's just me. That's your battery flashing.
It can't be my bedroom. Oh yeah, I was shooting, baby.
I can now on my charger. Support. Can you charge while shooting?
We can talk
until it dies. Okay. Yeah, I did try what she's saying. I did, but I ended up with a favorite, and I was talking, I think, with 3 around my birthday. Yeah, it was 3 guys, and there's just one, and the other 2, they're caught in a shame. You know, I'd answer their calls if they called. I'd go on a date with them if they asked. But one.
But also, that gets us in so much trouble. It gets us in so much trouble because then, when this person, even though you have other people, if your favorite doesn't answer the phone,
if they don't answer
your
the phone,
world comes
and
crashing
then
down.
number 2 is trying to take you out on your date. Just like, fuck alone. Yo, I'm phone. Give phone no, but you're not phone. Dating is the pit.
It is the absolute ghetto. It is the absolute. But even though it's the shame.
You enjoy it.
I still enjoy it.
You enjoy it, yeah.
I enjoy going out with different people and getting to know them. Because also, I don't say, I don't speak about relationships and whatever. Every time someone's like asking, I'm just always like, we're getting to know each other.
I was about to say that I think that you enjoy dating because you're not a relationship person. I'm a relationship girl. I'm a lover girl. I'm a romance. I'm a Cancerian, guys. I'm a cater to you, Han. I'm not gonna be catering to you 5 niggas. So I don't enjoy dating because I just want my man. I just want my person, and I've been lucky. I think I've had 4 relationships, 4 serious relationships, and all of them, when they start, it's very intentional. I like you, I want to be with you. I like you, I'm going to marry you. It's very intentional. So we don't have to do the talking stage. It was this year, for the first time in my life, I had to do a talking stage, and I did it with a nigga on a 38. And I'm just like, you're pushing 40 trying to talk. What are we talking about?
Oh, so what are you just like, let's talk at our wedding?
Yeah, you'll know my favorite color. You'll know my favorite color in bed. I'll tell you about honeymoon. Know my favorite color is talking stage. I'm just like, for me, it was such a mind fuck because my last relationship was with my baby daddy, and when we met, it was very intentional. I was like, listen, now I want to be with you, and yes, the relationship don't end up working, but the intention is there. The 4 relationships I've had, all the men have said, and we're gonna make this work. We make it work up until a certain time. Then I'm single for almost 3 years. Then I meet this guy, and in my head, I'm just like, he's the oldest person I've ever dated. He's old. Not that old, but he's the oldest person I've ever dated. So in my head, I'm just like, he's got his own house, he's stable, he's got them kids. 3 kids. So I'm just like, surely you're not trying to be in the streets. I don't know, 38, she's trying to be in the streets at age 38. And then you just said, for me, it was such a shock.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when I found out, this is what dating in 2023 is.
That's what it is. It's literally people saying they are getting to know each other and just getting to know each other, going on dates, doing things together.
With who was in
Just
China?
They're like doing everything together, like going out, spending time together, and just getting to know each other.
I was just like, with whose vagina? And also, my thing is, I don't mind. I'm not saying, let's meet today and be exclusive today, but are we working towards a goal?
So I basically want to know from the word go, are we working towards a relationship?
Yes.
Or
because for you to say, you can say I want a relationship. It doesn't have to be with me. But you saying I want a relationship is enough for me to say, okay, we are working towards the same thing. If you don't work out, don't work out. It's okay. But we can just have a situationship. I was just like, how are those words coming out of your mouth? You got 38 with 3 kids. You are very close to the grave. And you still trying to get a situation.
Not close to the grave.
Men die fast.
Not close to the grave, please, ma'am. Please.
But I think for me, then it was such a mind fuck, and it was my first time dating this year, and I was just like, oh no, if this is what's out there.
Yeah, and you actually stopped.
I stopped.
Then you actually stopped.
I was just like, oh hell no, my man gonna find me. And I was
How is he gonna find you, girl?
He's gonna find me.
You don't like being on dating sites,
but I go out a lot.
Gonna find you.
Okay. I go out a lot. He's gonna find me at the club.
Extracting.
I'm always at this club. You'll find me at the club.
I don't think they go there to find wives.
All men I've been with have found at the club. Well, the last one, my baby dad, I found at work. But the other 3 men I found at the club.
I guess you need to work harder than sis.
I'm a full-time remote.
Exactly. I was like, okay.
I'm not even gonna meet people at work.
I don't see how this is gonna work out. And that time she works fully remote.
Full at home. Every day I'm at home. I take the kids to school, come back. But I think that's maybe in my end, it is just an excuse. Maybe I'm actually not that ready.
Yeah.
So I think.
But also, I mean, with dating at the same time, like with dating in general, I don't think you get to a point where you're like, I'm fully ready to get into it. Because I remember when I was like, I'm ready. And then I started talking to people, and then I'm like, maybe not. Maybe I'm not ready. Because when you start talking to certain people, they become a mirror and they show you the things that you thought you healed from.
Yeah.
And you realize, well, actually, I haven't healed from this. Yeah. And whatever, if this person speaks like this or if this person says this, I get triggered. So I'm just like, okay, maybe.
But unfortunately, you won't know. And for me, I thought that being single for 3 years is fine. I mean, I'm healed. I'm a healed guy. And then I dated this guy who's 38. Exactly what you're saying became a mirror. And then I was speaking to my therapist about it. And she said, you can't heal when you don't put yourself in situations that are going to trigger you. Yes. So staying single is not going to help you heal. Stay single because you want to stay single, but not because you are healing.
You are healing. That healing thing you
need to put yourself in there. In that space.
Men, I am this, I am that. That thing doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
When all you need to do is just like put yourself out there and get into a relationship or a situationship or a function.
No, situationships like that. If I hear, what does that word even mean? And also, guys, situationships for me, like not to try to be deep or whatever, benefit men. They only benefit men. Like, because I always say this, as women, whether you want to admit it or not, we are naturally givers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So even in a situationship, you will give. You will give. Mm-hmm. Maybe you won't give as much as you would in a relationship, but you give, and this man benefits. Mm-hmm. While he just lays there and gives DICK. That's all he gives. They don't really take you out on dates. Mm-hmm. That's why they want a situationship. They want the benefits of the girlfriend without the accountability.
They don't account for anything.
Nothing. A girl can call him same time as he just slept with me, and I can't be mad about it. So when when this guy was just like, oh, this is a situationship, I asked him, what's that? Because I mean, I've heard of the term before, but I was like, you define it. What's no, let's just take it slow and see where this goes.
Because also, njengoba kuthathwa slow izinto, you are catching wena on the other side. Yeah, relationship goals are not for situations.
They're not, shame. They're not. And one thing I've also noticed is that Men who want you tell you directly,
Yeah.
straight up. The men who want you to keep you, from the minute they meet you, they will make sure there's no room for another man to come and
yes, and also they'll make sure there's no room for you to have doubts.
About you. So for someone to say, let's do a situationship on phone.
Let's see where it goes.
Let's see where this goes on phone.
Let's see where it goes. Let's see where
it goes. No, the guy I was seeing before my baby daddy. Why should let's go with the flow? Flow into my baby daddy's arms. Because what do you mean let's see where this goes? Let's go with the flow. I'll flow in somebody else's arms. Oh, I was intentional about saying phone. Granted, it didn't work out, but intention in the beginning. You wanna go with the flow. Go with are we in high school?
Yeah. With dating, it feels like we're just like going back.
Yeah.
Going back. It's we're not progressing when it comes to dating, because you find that we are still struggling with the same things that we struggled with back then.
Yeah.
And things are not changing.
And we're all hurt.
Yes.
And we're all hurt, and we're just like hurting each other in the process.
That's the saddest thing about this whole thing, because also two people would get into a relationship and then realize, like the guy would be like, you know what, I'll make sure you don't hurt me first.
Yes.
I'll do it before you do it.
I'll ghost you before you
ghost me. Yes, and also even
women,
you get into relationships or whatever, when you start liking someone, you're like, no ways, I'm ghosting this one.
That's a problem.
I can't be liking this person this much.
Yeah.
I have to ghost them, because eventually they're going to hurt me.
They're going to leave me.
They're going to leave me. I think that's also like one of like the things that I would think about a lot. Like when I talk to people, I'm just like, okay, we are talking. But I'm just like, yeah, bora. That whole thing, because I feel like it's a cycle. You get to know each other, you get into a relationship, it doesn't work out, you fight, the relationship ends, and you start from scratch. You go back and you do it all over again.
See, I don't mind that cycle.
I'm just like,
I don't mind that cycle.
For me, it's tiring, because I'm like, how many times am I going to do this shit?
Until you get it right.
Until
we get it right. This is the lover girl in me speaking. I think for me, I don't mind the cycle. But the cycle needs to be long. Okay, we talk, we get into a relationship. That relationship better be a year, 2 years. 3 months.
But that's the thing. Go in relationships, it's like
in 2 months,
3, 4 months, and then after that, jigu Amanda got some post.
Yeah.
Relationship.
Sorry, friend. And I think for me, that's why I don't mind the cycle, as long as whether it's 2 years, 3 years, but I get enough of you. Like, and by the time we break up, we'll say, by year 2, we tried. Yes, I had a good time. And we tried. But guys, in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, you didn't try. Like, you did not try. You let your pride get in the way. You let your ego get in the way. And you let... Another thing, like, I've seen this post, which social media gives you the illusion that you've got options when you don't.
Yeah.
So you start fumbling, people thinking that the next man's gonna come. The next man can come, but will he be a good man?
Yes, and also will you benefit the very same way you were benefiting from the other?
Like, we're not willing to try anymore. We're not willing to fight for things anymore. We're not willing to fight for people anymore, because I got options. I'm a bad bitch. I'm a city girl. I'm a bad man.
I've got hoes.
Area code.
It's different area codes.
It's just like, you may have the 5 men, but are any of them worth you? Are any of them worth your time, your love, and everything that you're willing to give?
And also, how are these men treating you? Because there are some of them who will treat you well until they get what they want, and then they're out. Yeah. And then they start treating you like nonsense. You're just like, I probably shouldn't have.
Exactly. Look at this. Dating is the pit. And I think for me, I always attributed to dating as a single mom is the pit. Then you hear a woman who don't have kids. Like when you're on TikTok, you see these beautiful women being dribbled. Like, we are all just like, it's not good for any of us. And even like the date I was on this morning, this guy is just like, the dating pool for Black South African women who are interested in South African men is in the pits. And I'm just like, I'm so glad you are aware of that. You know, like we had such nice conversations about the dating pool, and he said that as a South African man, obviously he's friends with South African men, and he sits and he listens to his friends, and he's just like, yeah, my sisters have it hard out there. Like, apparently we need to change the race.
Change the race.
Date outside your race.
H for hectic.
No, the furthest I've ever gone was colored, and that's my first baby daddy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the furthest I'll ever go. I love black men.
I'm scared. They want a man because most of them don't want.
It's pink.
Pink. I said most of them don't buzz when I'm a case lab. And also, friend, they say time like when you say it's really difficult dating as a mom. Like it's difficult dating as a mom because sometimes what I would think about is the fact that okay, I'm gonna get into this relationship and then and then this person breaks my heart. Do you know heartbreak?
Picking up the pieces.
Do you know heartbreak? Do you know heartbreak?
The last
and then you have the child.
A
small child that feeds off your emotions.
My last heartbreak. I haven't dated since my baby daddy, and my last heartbreak was my baby daddy. It sent me to my mother's house. I was on my knees in my mother's house, and luckily I had my mother to pick the kids up. And while I picked myself up, but unfortunately at this point I don't have the luxury to go back to my mother's house and go be on my knees. It heartbreak, guys. It literally feels like death.
Exactly. So I think that's one of the things that make it difficult for me to even be like, okay,
let's give.
Out of all my hoes, I can choose one.
Choose one. And then I'm it is your
exactly. Then the person breaks your heart, and then now I have upahole that I can't tell him to go away.
Yeah.
I can't when he's coming to me. I can't be like, hey, leave me alone, go away.
Give me 5 minutes.
Give me 5 minutes. No. He requires me to be fully present.
24, as long as he's around.
Exactly, as long as he's around.
When he's not around, you're at work, so you can't be breaking down at work.
Exactly.
And then when you come home, you fetch him and you come here together. So there's literally no time to break down until if you let him sleep first. So now you have to schedule your mental breakdowns. But okay, at 8 o'clock, my whole sleeps at 8:30. So 8:30.
That's when we start.
I'm going to the bathroom and I'm going to just let it out. But the heartbreak doesn't work like that.
And also, I need to sleep. I need to wake up the following day and go to work.
Again. Yeah, I get that. But we don't, unfortunately, as single moms, we don't have the luxury to go through a heartbreak and go through it and process it properly while still being present. Because ain't nobody going to come take your kids. Because heartbreak can last, my heartbreak lasted a year.
Yeah, mine lasted 2 years.
Oof.
It lasted 2 years. I was like, nothing's off.
And the thing was off. Nothing's off. Guys, let me tell you, when I was at home going through my heartbreak, my mom didn't know why I came home. I just lied and I said, it's COVID and we've been working from home since, the pandemic hit, and I just feel like I need to come and save money. I'll go home. Guys, my wife then is going scream at me. After the ass when she got me saying scream, she would
you just be sitting and you think about it.
And she would come, Amanda, there was a day where she called my aunt. I've got a favorite aunt that I'm open with. Nanda, which is 45 minutes drive to my mother's house. The minute someone says to me, Amanda, what's wrong? After they get God, it's little Skanandi. I think my aunt realized.
No.
I'm putting this because my mom couldn't see. I don't think my mom has ever been heartbroken. My mom has been the same man her entire life. So I don't think she's ever been heartbroken.
So she doesn't understand. Linda.
My aunt came. My aunt again the single streets, but she knows heartbreak. What me again? Guys, I was screaming. I'm doing good to Amanda.
And when you're heartbroken, you don't function well in trouble. Like even the things that you would usually do, you don't do them well. And so you are not going to perform well. So guys,
it's such a ripple effect that thing. Like you're right, it's like it's work, your parenting, your sisterhood, your friendships, it's such a ripple effect where you're just like, nah, maybe I shouldn't. It's so
for me, like whenever I think about it, I'm like, I remember my heartbreak, and then I'm like, nah, it's okay. I can enjoy the presence or whatever of men and not commit to them
because you know what it feels like.
I know what it feels like.
And it's so crazy. For me, I think about it like I went through that heartbreak and I didn't die.
I'm not the one.
I'll do it again. It's fine.
I'm sorry.
Bring me my man.
I'm sorry.
I think like Ngotando.
Yeah, you're a lover girl.
I know I'm a lover girl at heart. Ngintombazana nje ezithandela romance. Ngizithandela romance.
I pray that God akuphe i-romance.
Yes, I've been ashamed. No, so
Umuntu ozokuthanda
I need all the romance
in the world. So what am I? My man this, my man that.
Gone girl. Now I'm not ashamed. I think I've posted every man I've ever been with. Like if you go on my Facebook, you'll see every serious relationship I've ever been on.
And also, I'm telling
Post about fire.
Yes, about fun, guys. I was talking to this other guy. I'm making food. I'm like, you know what? There's one thing that I've also one other thing I've also realized. Ubana, like when you're talking to someone and you feel like you're feeling something, you start feeling something, and then you post them. Post them. And tell me if they don't show you flames after you have posted them.
Do they see the post?
I don't know. It just happens, but
they're not chicken.
Was it because of that post? Maybe I need to go.
but then I think like guys, it's like I'm not trying to be deep, but it's literally it's God's way of filtering because you cannot because of a post. It means you were never here.
Also,
anyway.
I don't think they actually see the post. I don't know. It's in the air.
Then that's the thing. It's God filtering.
That's definitely God. If it's in the air,
it's God saying, filter. Now, when I say every man I've ever dated, if you go on my Facebook, guys, you will see every man I've ever dated. My ex from where I was in a relationship for 6 years, like kind of married. My baby dad, Milan's dad, is on my Facebook, and the 2 other relationships, they're also on Facebook. Then I post, and none of them has ever had an issue with that. And for me,
wow, from Milan's dad.
Yeah, what from Milan's dad? No, he didn't have an issue. That's why I was too scared. Should I post this? I know, he never had an issue, baby. He never had an issue. My man never had an issue. He'd be like, no, baby, don't post it. Post the other one. I'm like, okay. Post.
It's the audacity.
No, the audacity for me. But like, but what I'm trying to say is, even with him, when he knew he was married, he still didn't care that I posted. So it's that thing, if a man has an issue with me posting him, it's a lot.
Other things and other people.
As much as we don't let social media validate us or whatever,
yeah.
but as much as we don't let social media validate us, but social media is not that deep.
Yeah.
Unless.
And also now if you're like, it's not that deep. If you can come to me and be like, so that post is not that deep. Then also me posting you on social media shouldn't be that deep. Because at least when you're saying nothing on social media is that deep. So anyway. But guys, please talk to us in the comment section and let us know how you are navigating the dating world as moms. Like how do you guys do it?
There's also the me as a lover girl, okay? Not you as I date. I'm like a hose.
As a different area codes.
As a lover girl, let's say you meet your man. Date him for a year, for 2 years. There's also now that decision of when do I introduce him to the kids?
Yeah.
How do I introduce him to the kids? What do I say to the kids? God forbid we break up. Now, what do I say to the kids? Where's uncle?
And so now those are the conversations in my head that don't happen.
They don't happen because you don't see it going that far. I'm like, no. Yo, for me, it's all I think about. It's all I think about is like, when do I introduce you? How do I introduce you? And also, we're Spartana, so we're at an age where we are dating other people who do have children.
Yeah.
So when do we integrate our families? There'll be days where the children, it's my man's weekend with the kids.
So
but I still want to see you. So now, and let's say something as simple as yesterday there was Bleepy. I want to take my kids to Bleepy and I've got extra kids and I've got extra tickets my man needs to. Now when the kids are all there together playing, watching Bleepy, who are these kids to each other? What do we say? What kind of conversations do we have? And for me, that's the scariest part. But okay, as a lover girl, okay.
That's your biggest worry.
It is my biggest worry. It is.
How do
I keep the two separate?
How do you also, after you've kept the two separate, how do we ease or how do you integrate the two?
And then should shit the fan? How now? Being like, because now the man Milan is going to be like, oh, where's sister? Talking about her stepsister. She wants to see her. Nah, but
I think things become a bit complicated when kids are involved, because then once you involve them more, and they're attached to people. Where not as the parent, you can be like, I'll be fine, I'll be heartbroken, I'll detach, I know what to do to get over this person. But abantwana, they don't know what to do. Umntana is used to spending weekends with these other kids. Yeah. And now all of a sudden these kids are no longer.
And also with relationships, it's cold turkey. It's literally last week we were together and boom, then now they don't exist anymore. And I think for me that is my biggest thing, Guti. Because I don't have a co-parent. If I had a co-parent, it would be easier to send my kids to their father while I know I'm dating. But now I can't. I want unfortunately my man and my kids eventually have to integrate. Because there would be weekends where I want to see both of you at the same time. And how do you
And also, you're going to want to do
things together, yes, as family, as a family.
But at the same time, you have to have like at the back of your mind, but what if, as much as you don't get into a relationship with, like, what if it ends?
Yes.
But when children are involved, it's very.
And there's also the safety of the kids.
Yeah.
And there's also there's also my kid just doesn't like my man. And there's no particular reason. She just doesn't like him. What now? What now? So now you date him in private. Because you have to, this is your child's home at the end.
You can't make them feel uncomfortable.
Yep. Not just going to be like, Mommy, I don't like uncle. And not to say that uncle maybe touched her in an appropriate, no, she just vibes.
Just doesn't vibe with
uncle.
I'm full uncle.
I'm Now what? You know?
Because then, if uncle is like, uncle, then it would be difficult to merge the two. Even if you guys were to be like, we're going to get married. It would be difficult to merge the two, because then uncle would always feel like, when you chose uncle
over me. And I think that that might happen more in boy-mom situation, because boys feel the need to protect you guys. And so when someone comes, they just like, who's this now?
What do you want?
What do you want from a mom? Especially if they have a present dad. It almost feels like, I think maybe boys are more receptive, maybe I don't know, like I stand corrected, but they might be more receptive to stepdads if mom is single. But if I've got a dad,
and also
we don't need you.
They're always just like, my dad this.
I saw a post this on Facebook this other day. This guy was saying, it's so hard to date a single mom who's got a present baby daddy, because the child would be like, well, my daddy bought me a PlayStation. When are you coming back? And I impress your little stepson with like your little pizza, and then he'd be like, yo, but my dad bought me a PlayStation 5.
What is this?
Men just want to date single mothers with deadbeats. It's easier. And I'm not even going to lie. I always tell you guys this, and people don't believe me and they laugh when I say that if the baby mama ain't dead, we can't go ahead. Because now, let's say I'm dating, as much as in the beginning I was just like, they need to have a relationship, a healthy relationship. It's actually easier to date someone who doesn't have a healthy relationship with their co-parent. So because now I don't want them to not have a healthy relationship, I need her dead. Sorry. Mommy died in a car accident.
No, seriously.
Mommy died giving birth. I'm sorry. Like, as much as what I was saying earlier, and I mean it, like I do think that co-parents need to have a good relationship, but I don't know if I'm mature enough. So that's why. So I understand these guys who are just like, you're dating a single mom who's got a good relationship with her baby daddy, because now you're trying to impress with your little toy, and the kid would be like, but my daddy bought me a PS5. So, me also trying to impress little girl with some cute tea sets or dolls, and be like, my mom bought me a house.
A dollhouse. You know what? I once dated a guy who had a child, and baby mama they were not getting along, and I had an issue with that.
Yes, it is an issue though.
I sat him down and I'm like, you need to talk to this woman.
No, it is an issue because eventually you will have to facilitate that relationship, and it's not your business.
You need to sit her down, and you guys need to work on the relationship. You guys can't umntana uhlangana naye emnyango mawuyomlanda. There's no way. Like, you guys can't be doing this. So Nashem personally, I don't have a problem with people who have co-parents who are present. It's something that I stand for. I'm like, have your co-parent present, and I'm in a relationship with you. So if there's anyone who's gonna do me dirty here, it's you. You would have, yes, and you would have done me dirty even if
either way. Even if she's not there, yeah,
yes,
that's true.
So that's my thing. Would say, I don't care. Have your baby mama.
Yeah.
Makabe present, and you guys can co-parent together and whatever. Kobe Mandy and everything.
And
yes, because if you were going to shit on my head, you were going to shit on my head.
You were doing it anyway. Yeah.
So whether we call it baby mama, because that speaks to the kind of person that you are.
That's true.
You know,
that's
it speaks to the kind of person that you are.
That's what I was saying earlier. And I think for me, my preference, and people are always just like, huh? My preference, I would literally prefer to be with a man who doesn't have kids. Men with kids, dating a man with a child or children, it's very complicated. Like this guy I'm talking about had 3 kids with 3 different women. Already, that should have been a red flag for me. But red is my favorite color.
Nah!
He's got 3 kids with 3 different women. That should have been a red flag. That should have been a, ooh, what you doing here? But then he doesn't get along with 2 of his baby mamas. That for me, then it's a matter of now you have to put yourself in a situation where me and you are in a serious relationship. Because I asked him one time, I'm just like, have you ever had your children, all 3 of them, under the same roof at the same time? And he's never had that. And for me, that's a problem because I've got my kids at the same time in the same roof. And I always say that I prefer to date a man without a child because when me and this man get married, I want everybody's children under one roof. Dating a man with children, especially with multiple baby mamas, I know he's not going to convince 3 women to let us raise the kids. But at least if he's got 1 baby mama, it's easy to convince 1 woman, but to me, just come on, go live your life, let us raise. Because ideally, I want my children and his children to be in under one house. I don't want a man to be a father to my children while he sees his once a week. I don't like that. But because I know that the probabilities of that happening are very slim, then my preference now needs to change and saying, then I would prefer to date a man without a child. Every time I say that, people are just like, not you! You got your 2 children. And for me, I'm just like, it's like saying,
it's my preference.
It's a preference. It's like saying,
and also you're going to meet someone who's like, I'm okay with it.
And I did date someone this year. I literally met, it didn't work out for whatever reasons. When I put myself out this year, I met a guy, no kids at all. Ngambuza, do you want kids? He said he wants them in the future. And I said I've got 2 kids, 2 baby days. It's like, I don't care. Like, it means nothing to me. I'm here for you. I'm here to pour onto you and you pour into your children. And I like that because you're not here to play daddy to my kids. You're here to play daddy to me.
You know what? I'm happy you mentioned this because I actually forgot about it. Because some people, like some guys, like when you get to know them, just starts thinking,
they have to provide for their kids.
Yes, you want them to step in and be the father. I'm always just thinking, I'm like, my child is a dad. My child has a father who is fully present. I don't want you to be my child's father. Like I'm getting to know you. Like I don't want
my children. Both my children don't even have daddies, but I still don't want any man coming to play father on my kids. As much as my kids don't have fathers, it's not a man that I'm going to be.
Exactly.
You know, it's not you. Like, it's not you. And I men always think, but I know I have to provide for you. And I was providing for my kids.
And that's a misconception, because everywhere you go, you will hear men thinking, you will hear men saying, I won't date a woman with a child or a woman with children because now I have to provide for, now I have to be a stepdad. I'm just like, and they always say jokingly, and you know for a fact, they're actually mean it. Yeah. Like they think, you want them to come into your life and
provide for your kid. I took my baby daddies to court. My kids are provided for by their fathers and myself. And I always men always come in and be like, you're not here to play daddy to my kids.
No.
You're here to be my man. You're here to love me and point to me, and I'm gonna take care of my kids. Don't worry about that.
Trust me. I'm not even going to be like, you need to meet my child.
No.
You need to be
if anything, I would like for you to not meet my kids.
Exactly.
But ideally for me, I would like to end up with a partner who doesn't have children, so that I don't think I have the emotional maturity to sit down 2-3 baby mamas and be like, my face, I started pants, how we doing this co-parenting thing? You know, one of them but one of them will be reluctant.
Yeah, so I tell you 3
baby mamas.
They're just like, no one Tatela.
Now it's a
and
fight.
Then you want my child to stay with
this one. Yes! And then they're gonna think that I'm trying to like be better than them because there's also that. So for me, I mean, as mentioned, it should have been a red flag that he has 3 children, 3 women. But when in hindsight, when I thought about it, I was just like, the fact that you've got 3 kids with 3 different women, and you don't get along with 2 of them, that is, for me, it started being scary because shit, now if I'm serious with you, I have to facilitate this relationship. With my ex fiance, I met him when his child was 2 when I met him, and he was trying to be a present father, but his baby mama was just like over my depth, what? And for me, and obviously I would hear his side. Yeah, my baby mama's crazy, my baby is crazy. Until one time I was just like, do you mind if I speak to her? He was just like, no, go ahead. Because she would literally be like, you're not seeing this child, you're not seeing this child. Then I call her, then I'm like, okay, cool, let's go out for lunch. Luckily she was very receptive. We go out for lunch, and the more she spoke, the more I'm like, yeah, I get why you're mad. He's the problem. He's the problem. And we were able to have a relationship between the 2 of us. And because her thing was just like, I never want to speak to that man, whatever. But I mean, I know my son needs his father. So she was just like, as long as you're here, I'm okay. So then we were able to have that relationship. She'd call me if she needed me to come get the child. And if if we needed the child, then we can go get the child, and she'd talk to me. But it was easier because it was one woman. Now I can't imagine having to do that with 3 women. That's why my man needs to not have kids, or if he does have kids, have kids with 1 woman.
So that at least you can be able to.
That's a very easy relationship to facilitate. Yes. And people are always just like, oh, but you've got 2 kids with 2 different men. Why do you want a man with 1 child? It's a different when a woman can have 4 kids with 4 different men. It's not the same as a man who got 4 kids with 4 different women. A woman with 4 kids with 4 different men, for sure, takes care of all of those children, and they all live under her roof. Okay. A man with 4 kids with 4 different women. That's why, for me, my important question about having children, 3 of them ever been under the same roof at the same time. And when the answer was no, I was just like, then I know what I'm getting myself into here. It's a war. Yeah. So it's just like dating men.
Also,
with kids.
why are we getting into relationships to be in a war?
You know, getting into this relationship to make my life easy. Now I'm coming here facilitating, calling baby mamas. Yeah. Can I come for?
No, guys, like, it is the ghetto. I'm sure you guys get the frustration from what we're saying, because it is really the ghetto. Like, it doesn't matter. It does not matter where you actually meet these men. You can meet them online. Yeah. You can meet them at a restaurant, wherever. But you realize you're experiencing the same thing because, wow.
You know, for me though, with the reason why I'm not a fan of online, is because women, if a woman is online, I get it. We women don't have much options. Guys, men have options. Like South African, let's just say in South Africa. South African women are gorgeous. They are financially stable. They're independent. They've got their shit together. They work. We're basically the whole package. So as a man, why are you online? Why are you struggling finding a woman in real life? For me, I'm always just like, what's wrong with you? What's your... A man can go to a restaurant right now and find the 2 of us at a restaurant sitting together. Trust me, he's got a chance with at least one of us. So for me, when I see a man online, I'm just like, what's wrong with you? In South Africa, you can find a good girl. When there are so many good girls, many beautiful, good, amazing women. But in South Africa, women are all, I don't know if it's just South Africa, but we're all raised in a patriarchal system to cater to men. So it's not hard to find a woman who's a good woman, who's going to cater to you. So why are you online?
So maybe you are the problem.
You are the problem. That's why I don't believe in online dating.
You know what? I came across this other video on TikTok where this lady is talking about the fact that, because those are not talking stages, I'm not there. She's like, talking stages, I'm not there. Not personally. We don't, and also we don't text, because texting can give you a false sense of intimacy between you and the person.
That's true.
When I meet someone, we talk on the phone, and then the next week we have to go on a date. and it has to be a formal date where we sit and we chat.
It's not coffee. It's not ice cream.
Just like no, not coffee, not ice cream, because you have to set the tone. Because you can't be like, no, I can accept a coffee date and whatever. Then that person already knows.
The bar is low. The bar is in hell.
I don't really need to do much.
No, you
so that girl's like, you know what, Pumani, you are going to be texting long hours with Indoda and you are talking to them on the phone for a long time. It gives you a false sense of security, a false sense of intimacy. Yes, because now you're thinking you are getting close to this person and it is false. Yeah, exactly. You don't know this person, you guys are just talking on the phone. So it's like, nah, I limit my calls. Even my calls have to be like 1 minute or less. When I talk to these people, I don't text them. We're not texting. We don't know each other, we're not texting. Okay? We need to meet up, have a date, and then that's where we discover, but we actually like each other, we're gonna move forward, or we don't like each other.
And you can actually discover that face to face, honestly. On text, we can lie.
I can lie.
Lie through your teeth. Like, you won't know, you don't see my reaction, you don't see what I'm. Yeah, that's true.
Sure.
I get that, and I have to say I agree. I mean, as someone who doesn't like dating, I don't see why we need to be talking for months. Give me one of these kids, I mean, I'm gonna call them kids, but these kids, they'll be like, oh, we're in a situationship for like 7 months. 7 months?
Getting to know each other.
Getting to know each other for 7 months. Guys, you'll know my favorite color when I'm walking down the aisle. I'll tell you my favorite color in bed. I'll tell you my favorite color at our honeymoon. What do you mean we're getting to know each other? 6 months, 7 months?
You really don't want this concept of getting to know each other.
No.
Because also, to be honest, there's someone who gets to know a lot of men.
Yeah.
Okay, not a lot of men, but people who's open to getting to know people. It is shit, you guys. It really is. It is. Like, it's nonsense.
Not exhausting. Also.
It is nonsense. It's only fun and nice and whatever when it's someone that you actually like.
Yes.
So if it's someone you don't like, you get tired of
just doing it for fun.
Yes. Like if it's someone you don't like, then you're just like, yeah, I'm tired. I'm tired. It's enough now. It's enough.
Yeah.
It's okay. We don't have to continue. I know a lot of things about you. It's okay. You know.
Yeah.
And when it's someone that you actually like, you're just like, we can prolong it. It's fine because you're enjoying the person's company, whatever, and also because you don't want commitment. You don't want to attach to this person. Like, I need to keep them around, but not. So, yeah.
Now, what I'm saying is that I'm not gonna date. The dating world, I tried it. It's not for me. My man's gonna find me.
You heard what the girl said. Her man's gonna find her.
He's gonna find me. God, uzomletha la. In front of me.
Song doesn't even go to church.
Funny. My baby daddy is a staunch born-again Christian. Church every Sunday. He goes to those churches where you spend the whole day. So, churchmen. Bah. Even if I went to church every Sunday, if I met a man in church, do not rebuke. Get away from me.
Not rebuke.
I will not meet a man in church.
Those ones have a bad rep.
I will not, because they are bad, and they hide behind the Bible. They hide behind God and God, and you're just like, you're a shitty person. No, it's fine. I'll meet my man at the club. I don't mind. When I get there, I'm a club girl. I'm a girl in the streets where the kids are not around, and I'm gonna meet my man in the streets.
Maybe you'll meet your man next week.
Since we're in the streets.
We're going to the streets next week. Mandy's gonna meet her man. Anyway, guys, let's wrap it up because I started and I'm tired of talking. Okay,
especially about men.
Yeah, like so the palace after this. Anyway, guys, please do share with us how you're navigating the dating world as a mom, because I think we can learn from each other.
Yeah.
You can give us some tips on how we can navigate it on our side. As a lover girl and as a straight girl.
Yeah, and especially for me, I'd like to hear from the moms who have multiple kids with multiple daddies but have been successful
Yeah.
in finding soft love, good love. You've been successful in finding the love that society tells us we don't deserve.
Yeah.
I'd like to just tell us. You don't have to tell us your story, but just leave your comment and tell us it's possible, because for a very long time we internalize what society tells us. And when you guys tell us that I've got 3 kids with 3 different men and I'm married, that representation, you don't know what it does for someone like me who's
I'm married and I'm loved well.
Yes, with my 4 kids and my 4 baby daddies. Like that for me, those stories, I'm always just like,
Could be one day.
yeah, please just drop a heart if you're in that situation. If you are loved right with them 3 kids, with them 3 baby daddies, and you didn't allow society to tell you that you're not worth it.
I think we all want to eventually
Be lover girls.
be lover
Yes,
girls.
come to my side.
We all want to eventually be lover girls, but
And I think also maybe,
is
and I also think that, okay, I'm projecting because I want everyone to be a lover girl, but I do think that girls who are not lover girls, it's your guys'
yeah, it is
a way of protecting yourself.
It is.
Okay,
It
it's like
is.
a coping
It's definitely-
mechanism. It's
yeah.
a wall you've built to protect yourself.
Because I mean, I've always been a lover girl, but
yeah, something
like
happened and
something
you were like,
happened
oh
and I
hell
was
no,
like, yo,
this is enough for
these
me.
ones don't deserve me. They don't deserve my loyalty. They don't deserve nothing from me. So I was like,
Vala mfana.
But yeah, I mean, I watch people who are loved well. I watch people who are in lovely marriages. Because I mean, you send the YouTube videos up.
Yeah.
This is Bulgaria.
And don't stop, guys. Don't stop.
Yeah. I mean, I watch those things. I'm like, yo, Saba well, but also Saba well lasts for 5 seconds.
Yeah. Saba well to an extent. It's like, okay.
Yeah, but also I feel like we all deserve to be loved
Yes.
well. We all deserve, especially as black women, because I mean,
We
we
haven't
are
been.
always told the opposite.
Yeah.
We've always just had to fight in romantic relationships.
And
We've always
prove
had
that
to-
you're worthy, and you work for your love, you compensate,
Yes.
prove, but I'm ready, love
Yes,
me,
and also-
choose me, pick me. Ooh.
And you're the one who puts in a lot of work in the relationship. You don't sit and become a princess
No, you don't.
and let this person cater to you. You're always catering, you're always doing this, you're always doing that for men. So I really would like all of us one day, you know, to be lover girls who are loved well, or who are able to also receive the love well, because
That's important.
because I
Because
mean,
we haven't been taught to receive
Yes.
well. Black women have just taught to just give and
To
give
just
and give,
give.
but we're not taught to receive. And when you find a man who's a giver, we don't know what to do with them.
and also, you know what, even without being a man, it being a man that gives you something, you know how it is when your friend
Even your
does
friend,
something.
yes.
It's just like,
You don't feel like you deserve it. It's just
Yeah.
like you deserve it. And just by the virtue of you existing, I think as we talked about it, like as black women, we fight to be seen. We have to do things. We perform for love. We cook for these men. We clean for them. And there are some like the other race, like white women. You listen to them speak, and they're like, I don't even know how to cook, but they're being loved so right, so loud, and you're just like, black women deserve to be loved just for existing, just for
and not
being
have
you.
to
You don't have to
struggle.
work for it.
You know?
Struggle love is a whole different topic for another day. Woo! Oh my God! Don't we all have experience of struggle love?
We all do, sister.
Embarrassing.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to reading your comments. We will see you. Well, I will see you next time on my channel. Maybe we'll see you maybe whenever. I don't know.
I'm not doing vlogmas, so
Oh, yeah,
you'll see
she's
me
not-
whenever. So,
We'll see you whenever. Cheers with empty glasses. Bye, guys.